Kaptırıyor topu. Ali Tanrı'dan çok süratli. Ali orta yapacak. Sert orta. Sert orta.
Welcome everyone back to another Maestro Game production. Welcome back to beautiful Bursa, and as you can see from that menu just over my shoulder, I am about to order some food. But before I order some food and we crack on with today's game against Ankaragücü, I believe it's pronounced, we have a couple of games to catch up on. We are of course falling into the final games of the season, the last 7, which should be 7 of our easiest games. The first 2 of course are from prior to this episode. The third one is our game of today's episode. Then we're going to play a few more and then we'll finish on the final game of the season in the next episode. But without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling. We're going to have our catch up on those 2 games and then crack on with today's game. Okay everyone, so this is a bit of an unorthodox way of doing our game roundup, but as you can see we have drawn 0-0 in both of those games, so there isn't any goals to have a look at, so there's no point in jumping into the highlights particularly, but we will jump in and look at those match statistics, see how we got on in terms of the statistics. So first of all, we have the Adana game. We was at home to Adana. We had 8 shots, they had 3, 4 on target to 1, 0.75 XG to 0.16. We probably should have won this game. 10 corners to 4, 6 fouls to 17, 0 yellow cards, 3 yellow cards, 90% passing to 85, 46% possession to 54. Now, as you can see, here's our strikers. Again, our strikers were the problem. Rigatsu and Erin this time struggled on a 6.5 and a 6.6 respectively. We then had Sinan behind them on a solid 7. Musin, Ozcan was solid in that central midfield role. We even had Berber having a good game. Omar, he struggled, as you can see. We did bring on Uslu, I believe. Yeah, Uslu, 6.6 there. He come on at left back. Seydat also had a bad game. Lucky for him, we didn't concede, so that is all good. Manfredini on a 6.9 and Kuble also on a 6.9. Also coming off the bench, we tried Endoy. He got a 6.6 also. So swapping him in for Erin didn't do a whole lot. Ahmet came on, 6.8. Slotted in for Seydat, I assume, is what I did there, and he did a decent job when he came on. So that was the first game against Adana. Okay, so in the second game we versed Goztepe, and as you already know, it finished 0-0. They were the better team though. In this one we probably should have lost it. We should have probably won the first one, probably lost the second one. So 2 points instead of getting a 3 points. It kind of weighed out, I guess, getting a couple of draws instead of a win. So as you can see, we got 2 shots to their 14, 2 on target to their 3. At least we got all of our shots on target. Unfortunately though, our XG was 0.05, theirs was 0.47. 2 corners to 12, 14 fouls to 18 fouls. 2 yellow cards to their 0, 89% passing to their 88, and 54% possession to their 46. As you can see, Obilor and Kuble both got themselves yellow cards. I believe Obilor I ended up taking off in the end. Obilor on a 6.4 was struggling, so we brought on Ahmet. Ahmet this time not so good, so I guess he likes to be on the left hand side rather than the right, which makes sense because he is a left hand sided midfielder as well. Well, left hand sided defender, I believe. I don't know if he can play midfield. He can play defensive mid. He can play left back, centre back and defensive mid. So that is why he's a little more comfortable over on the left hand side. As you can see though, Obilor wasn't the only one struggling. Berber on a 6.6. We did have Manfredini getting another clean sheet. That gets him on a 7.2. And it also gets him the record, I believe. I believe that puts him on 14. And it was 13 when I checked what the record was previously. So that's nice to see. That does mean Manfredini's probably going to get himself dropped. I'll double check. If he's got the record now, we're dropping him just so we can give our youth goalkeeper a bit more development time in these last few league games. Because as you can see, you'll be able to see from the table in just a second, we're quite safely away from the relegation zone. We can technically get dragged back into it. If we win today, we're guaranteed to stay up, but we're pretty much guaranteed to stay up. So, Kuble on a 6.8, good game. 6.7 from Seydat was okay. Omar on a 6.4, that was terrible. Again, I brought Uslu on. We have Musin, he got 6.6, struggled a little bit. Ozcan, 7.1, solid performance. Sinan on a 6.6, again, bad performance. And these two up front did terrible on a 6.4 each. So, as you can see, brought Uslu on, didn't do much, got a 6.6 himself. Recap again, 6.6, and a 6.7 for Aaron. Didn't do bad, didn't do good though when he came on. So, Aaron, I'm not sure if we're going Aaron or Ndoy for today's game. We are going to have a little look at that right now, in fact. Let's jump into that before we crack on with the game. So, we are playing... I've completely forgot who we're playing for some reason. Ankara, they're 16th in the table. They're down here. In this relegation scrap, they're 5 points clear of the relegation zone. Now, like I've said, we're on 40 points. They're on 27. That is, of course, a 13-point gap. That means we can give up 4 games. 5 losses would technically put Adana above us, which means if they win all their games, we lose all of our games. We can technically drop below Adana and everyone else. We can't drop below these two, I don't think. So we're lucky in that sense. But Adana currently occupies that top relegation spot. We could slip into it, but I don't see it happening. So we're going to give our other goalkeeper an opportunity, like I said. He's on 14 clean sheets. I believe that's our record. Can we have a little look at that team record? If he's got the team record, we shall then... There we go. Record. Clean sheets. Where is the clean sheets? Here is all of our records. Feel free to pause it and have a look if you're interested. Most goals by player, 25, was Ali Akman, and he didn't even play a full season. Let's have a little look at Ali Akman. I like Ali Akman. 5 million, currently on 29 grand a week. We're probably not going to get him back at this rate. 1.5 million we sold him for. He's had 2 solid seasons. Not been as amazing as he was for us, but he's been decent. So league positions, attendance results, sequential. Where's our clean sheets? Conceded. Most clean sheets by a player, 13, is Atabek. I'm sorry, but it's not. That's been broken. Manfredini, 14. Is that league dependent? Turkish League. Okay, we've got 12 here from the Turkish Super League. So, do we screw him over? Do we screw our old man goalkeeper, 34 years of age, over? He's on the verge of getting the clean sheet record. He's had a 6.92 average rating all season. He has conceded 36 goals in 29 games. So the fact he's had 12 clean sheets in those 29 games is impressive. He's had 17 games where he's conceded 36 goals. That's worrying. That inconsistency is worrying. He's not going to be around forever, but we also don't want to stunt the development of Atabek. As you can see on 2.5 site, it'd be nice to get him up to 3-star, get him up to that 4-star at some point. But if we can push him on to 3-star for the start of next season, he would be nice to be starting. As you can see, he's got 3 clean sheets in 4 games and 2 as a sub. So he's been doing a decent job. I think we give our youngster the run out. I'm sorry, Manfredini, I love you, but we've got to give our youngster these opportunities. Or do we just give him one more game? You know what? We'll give him one more game. We'll give Manfredini this game. I know, very indecisive. We'll give Manfredini this game. They can share the title of clean sheets, and then Atabek can come on for the rest of the season, enjoy the season. Hopefully we can hold a clean sheet, because I'm not going to be happy if we can't hold a clean sheet. In fact, this is his one opportunity. If you don't get it now, he ain't getting it, because Atabek, from every game on now, is going to be playing. So, Atabek, you can wait in the wings for one more game. After this episode, you are going to play out the season. You are going to develop. We've got Saidat, of course, developing. Could play Nobilo, or I'll go to centre-back, so we're not going to switch any of that up. These left and right backs, I don't want to mess too much. I would try our youngster over on this side. I'll wait till we've guaranteed our survival to mess around and bring on the youngster over here. Omar, there's no point in bringing on Uslu in Omar's spot, because Omar is going to be staying at least for another season, even if he is a bit upset. We haven't given him a new contract. And there's now in here that I really want to mess around with too much. I guess Ndoy isn't going to be around forever, so Aaron should be the one starting. Give Aaron a bit more game time. He's a youngster. Needs to get that development. He's at 3-star, 4, maybe 5-star in the future. So we'll get him on, get him playing as a poacher. He is going to be playing that poacher role going forward, because I believe this guy, yes. Oh, he's a target man, you know. This guy's a target man, so maybe Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we do this. Maybe Rigatsu can play poacher. Do you like to be a poacher? Because in the next season system, Aaron is probably going to be our deep line forward. So, play him as a poacher, he can do it. We'll do that then. Rigatsu, you're our poacher. You've been struggling. We'll keep you on just because of that link with Sinan. We've then got these guys. Now, I could take Sadat off and bring Amit on. Amit has been playing nicely and developing nicely. But I think we want him for this wing, you know. I think what we want is this. Although, I guess not. No, he's a centre-back. I'm sorry, Amit. You are a centre-back. You're going to have to develop in that role, but you're going to have to wait till next game. He's, again, another player I'm going to slide in here once we've guaranteed this victory here today. Or at least guaranteed enough points to survive. I.e. Adana slips up. So let's hope Adana slips up if we don't manage to win today. But first of all, we need to advance. So, instead of making you sit through me going through all these little screens, I'll see you fine folks. We're in the briefing room probably in just a second. Okay everyone, we are in the tactical meeting room, of course, ready for our game in today's episode. And as you can see, they want a few little changes. Now, some of these changes are just stuff I forgot to do, like this one. Balanced, pushed up to positive. We're the better team, we're at home. Of course, we're going to push up to being positive instead of balanced. Now, tactical, we're not going to change our tactic. That's going to stay as is. Same with these defensive duties, easing off tackles, shoot on sight, all of this. We're going to leave that alone. We've made the tactic. We're sticking with our tactic. With this, they want to swap our strikers around by the looks of it. Yeah. And then bring Adigan in for Musin Yildirim. That is not a bad shout. But we're not doing it. In fact, no, we are going to do it, but we're not going to do it in the manner they're suggesting. So we'll do that in a second. We've got all these opposition instructions. Not going to read through them. I'm just going to trust our assistant knows what on earth he's on about. So we'll swap those opposition instructions. As you can see, Mehmet, Musin, Sinan. Now, who is our default? Well, let's swap out two here. I do have the shake it up one, which is what I call this tactic. Oh. Also, feel free to have a look on this tactical style. If you like this particular tactic and want to try it out, feel free to nab the different details on this left-hand column. It is not a bad little tactic. It's a struggle to get players up, but I reckon with some better players in those wing positions, i.e. Berber and Omar, we can get some quick players who can dart down those sides. This tactic could work out pretty nicely. But this is what we are going for. So, as you can see, I did bring Emrehan. Ozkan has pushed up. We then have Musin in the centre with Emrehan. Ozkan is now occupying this central attacking mid. That just means Sinan drops, which means Ragusa is possibly not going to play. Do we play Ndoye or Ragatsu? Ndoye or Ragatsu? That is the question. Ragatsu has been struggling. He's on 6.6. Scored 4, got 5 assists. We then have Ndoye. He is currently on 2 goals. Yeah, Ndoye, you're on the bench, my friend. He's 37 years of age, admittedly. And he's 30. We do have some very old strikers. Lucky for us, he's out on loan to us. And, well, Ndoye, he's on his way out of the door at the moment. So, that's going to be another 2.1 grand off the budget. But enough rambling from me. Let's see how the team feels. Briefing room. We've got 3 players not liking the tactical familiarity. Yildirim is nodding in agreement. We've got Kurtz and Ndoye. Lucky for us, them two are on the bench. And all of these are loving certain aspects. Not going to go through them. Feel free to pause if you're interested. And these are the opposition instructions, of course. So, 2 in, 2 out. Go to the match. So, we head in, and no, there's nobody screaming out on their team for me, so we're just going to crack on, of course. Feel free to pause if you're interested in the social aspects on that page. We are the favourites here, so go out there and give the fans a performance to cheer for. Exactly. Can't do that with my hands on hips. How about punching the fists in the air? Yeah, we're going to do a bit of punching. So, Manfredini is on a fairly lengthy run without conceding a goal. That means he's probably going to concede 3 now he's said that. How long can he keep it going for? Hopefully another 90 minutes, because we're planning on shifting him out after this game anyway. He's been truly unbeatable in recent matches. I don't see why that can't last a little longer. 90 minutes. Manfredini has really caught the eye in goal recent matches. How important will he be here today? We certainly hope he can keep that form going, and he expects that of himself too. Exactly. As you can see, recent form, interesting. Not lost, but we only have one win in there. A lot of draws indeed. Now, they've been up and down. Loss, win, draw, win, loss. I think they're scheduled probably for a draw on that form, but 40 points, -8. We could crawl a little bit further up the table if we can get a bit of form going towards the end of the season. But right now, we just want to guarantee survival. If we can guarantee survival, whether that's us getting a win or Adana, the name escaped me for some reason. Adana is right in front of me. It escaped me. Adana slipping up or us managing to get a victory. However we manage it, as long as we can secure that, get our youths playing, give them a bit of experience in the league, develop them. We, of course, do have players out and about getting experience, I believe, in the lower divisions. But it'd be nice to get some youngsters playing in the Premier and just getting that experience. We're going to demand more because we are 7 minutes from half time and we are yet to score. We have had more shots than them though. I mean, they now have one whole shot. As you can see, we've had 3, they've had 1 whole shot. We've had 1 on target to their 0. Yet again, another boring game. I apologise. This tactic is a bit dull. 0.21 XG to 0.04 XG. Very good though for a team like us, newly promoted. And it does help us just waste the game away. 0 corners to their 3, 4 fouls to ours. 4 fouls to their 7 even. 1 yellow card to 0 yellow cards. 94% passing. That is amazing to see. To their 88, 60% possession to their 40. As you can see, Musin Yildirim is currently on a yellow card, so we should probably take him off. Just don't risk him. I'm not happy with that performance. That is a very disappointing performance. Who are we going to target going into the second half? Well, a couple of players. Omar's having a bad game, very bad game, so Uslu, we're not even going to risk him playing terrible. We then have a yellow card on Yildirim. Now, he's not having a terrible game, but we can't really risk him. We then have Rigatsu. Rigatsu's having a bad game. So you know what? Endoy, you can come on for Rigatsu. We're going to change you. No, we're not. We're going to leave him as a poacher. I reckon he can do a decent job as a poacher. So we're going to give him the opportunity to do a decent job as a poacher. We're going to drop Ozcan back here and get a nice solid central midfield. And we are then going to bring on Sinan. It's the whole Sinan or recap. Well, we've chose who we are going to go for. Triple substitution, half time. Let's crack on. Let's get a goal. Let's get this one in the bag. But Saba will head it down. We finally have a highlight. Unfortunately, though, it is for them. Coming down this right-hand side, tries through ball. Uslu can't get it. And they still hold possession. Potuk will hold up the ball and it's played across and slotted in the bottom corner. Although it looks like they're offside. So we have managed to escape this one. Yeah, fractionally offside is currently the call. We're going to look at this one, I believe. Yes. It's a VAR review. And the goal review says, goal disallowed. Nice to see. Let's have another look at this one. I won't call that fractional. I mean, 2 of you are offside and it's by quite a bit. It's by about a metre. Like, come on. I won't call that fractional. I won't call that fractional at all. Don't know why we needed a VAR review. Our linesman should be able to see that. But Aaron on the counter-attack. He has Sinan in support. And he has Endoy. Now, can he get anything going on this left-hand side? Whipping across, Aaron. Come on, Sinan. Lovely header. Oh, it's over the bar. Come on, keep your header down, my friend. But we have 30 minutes to go, and Saba will take the corner. It's headed over the bar. Berber now on a yellow card. I've just noticed that. Now, what do you want? Kubilay is 1 yellow card away from a suspension. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about securing a result, keeping us up. Kubilay is probably going to get taken out anyway for youngsters to come in and develop. So we don't have to worry about Kubilay for the rest of the season. Endoy is having a bad game. Now, fitness-wise, who do we have fitness-wise? Berber. Berber, you have been a pain in my backside so much. Nobody else can play in this position. That's the problem. Now, we could swap to the 4-2-3-1, but I don't want to. I'm liking this formation, and it's also getting us a draw, which I think is probably going to be enough to secure us our survival. So, probably not a good idea to swap that up. So, we'll go on rating. We'll see on body language who is currently not in it. Berber, Erdogan and Kubilay are the next ones in line. Erdogan, like I said, 6.7, that's decent. So I don't think we'll want to mess with any of this, to be honest. We've got a nervous Gullier, but there's no one we can really bring on for Gullier. Oscan is having a solve. You know what? No, we'll stick with what we got. We'll stick it out. We've got 2 substitutions. We don't need to force substitutions if we don't need to use them, so we'll stick with what we've got. 5 shots now. Unfortunately, we've still only got 1 on target. Come on, lads, I'm going to demand more. First of all, I'm going to wait for the corner. They're looking for overlapped. Interesting. Corner is whipped in. Headed away. Can we get Ozcan on the counter-attack? No. They have got the possession back, and Saba will play it short to Potuk. Potuk will whip one across to Alican. Alican come down left-hand side. Berber, please do not get sent. Berber. Berber. My friend. Well, we're definitely going to be using the youngster in the next game. As for now, I guess we're going to be forced to use the 4-2-3-1 because we can't do a whole lot more. So, Kubilay. Saydat can come over to here. Right, we need to go with that. What can Sinan do in terms of position-wise? Sinan is a pain. I think we've established Sinan is a pain in the backside. So we'll play without a left winger, which is going to be an interesting approach. We'll go Saydat off, Kunyet on, and then... Can Ozcan go over there? Because Sinan can drop back. Who can go on that right hand side? Do we have anyone? Seda can come on. Erdogan can slide across. I can't really take him off. Do we go strikerless? I feel like strikerless might be the approach here. But then we brought in Doyle. I don't want to substitute one of the subs. That's what I'm trying to prevent. I guess we'll just go with that. I guess we'll just go with the left-hand side. We should probably change the tactic just so when we're in possession that we're not trying to get down this side. So we're going to go overlap on that side through the middle. And yeah, we're going to keep the time wasting on. And we are going to progress with that tactic. Maybe we should probably drop back to balanced. But you know what? I like to stay positive. Let's stay positive. I mean... if you say so. Jason, I'm going to blame Jason if we concede now. That we've gone very defensive on Jason's call, even though I brought a defender on. But no, we just have a ball draw. We're on 3 in a row, well, 4 in a row on the ball draws because we had one in the previous episode. So, 0-0s have become a staple of this team recently. Not sure how I feel about that one, but that is what we have got here today, ladies and gents. So we have 5 shots to their 5. 1 on target to 1 on target. 0.26 XG to their 0.42 in the end. 0 corners to 8. 10 fouls to 18. 3 yellow cards to 0. 92% passing to 88. 54% possession to 46. So, now we've ended our losing streak. Maybe we would go back to the 4-2-3-1. Or maybe we stick it out and try this new 3-2-2-1-2. Something like that. Anyways, as you can see, Manfredini got his clean sheet. 7.2. That's the end of Manfredini. Manfredini can share that clean sheet record until Atbeck probably gets it next season and steals it away from him. Anyway, Kunyet came on, didn't do a whole lot. Obilor had a decent game with that 7.1. Same with Kublai. Uslu did decent. Oscan did decent. In fact, there's nobody really who had a bad performance in that lineup other than Endoy and I guess Omar and the sending off didn't really help. So the sending off was probably the worst bit of all that, but most of our team had a solid effort. Unfortunately, though, we just didn't get anything from it. We was the best team for probably 2/3 of the game, at least half of it. Unfortunately, though, they took over the game and we just didn't manage to win. So you were unlucky tonight. I'm not sure that is exactly right. That simply wasn't good enough. I expected more. That was disappointing. So you must be proud. Following the response of your team in reaction to the dismissal, they showed tremendous spirit to achieve that result, didn't they? A lot of teams would have folded in that situation, but my boys are made of sterner stuff, and they proved that here. Yeah, let's give them a pat on the back for at least holding out for that draw. So, as you can see, we have mathematically secured it. 12 points, 30, 40 points, 41. We should technically be mathematically safe. We are going to get the confirmation. Bursa avoid relegation, ladies and gents. Bursaspor have secured their place in next season's Super League after officially avoiding relegation. Now, that's lovely to see. As you can see, we have our match ban here for Berber. We're not going to dispute that at all. Ragazzu, that was to end his goal drought. Well, he's going to struggle to do that if I drop him for a youngster, which I'm planning to do. I don't know who I'm going to replace him with, but if I can find a youngster to drop Ragazzu, then I'm going to do exactly that. Now, in the final episode of the season, we are, of course, going to play our game against Kayserispor, which is away from home at the end of the season. Between then and now, though, I have these 3 games, which are against teams in and around our spot. Of course, the next one is up against 7th place, but then we burst both of the teams that are pretty much relegated. Yeah. The bottom one, I would say, is pretty much Bandy is pretty much guaranteed to be relegated. Fatty is all but guaranteed with a 10-point gap on them. So I'd say those 2 games are against both relegated teams and then Kayserispor in the next episode. But I thank you all for joining me. I'm sorry we've had yet another ball draw. I'm going to try and bring some goals for you in the next episode. Probably swap back to the other formation. It does get more goals. Or try and find a way of making this one work. But that's for me to figure out in these next 2 or 3 games. And I'll hopefully see you fine folks for the final game of the season. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a good night and goodbye.